Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Gopijana Vallabha Girivaradhari. Gopijana Vallabha Girivaradhari. Yashoda Nandana Vraja Janaranjana. Yashoda Nandana Vraja Janaranjana. Yamuna Tira Vanachari. Yamuna Tira Vanachari. Jai Vishnupad Paramahamsa Parivrajakacharya Ashtotara Shata Srimad-Esi Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Kanta Srimad-Bhagavatam Ki Jai. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Reading from Srimad-Bhagavatam, Chapter 1, Canto 1, Chapter 1, Text 1. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Janmadyasya yatanvayaditaratascha teshva abhignya swarat tene brahma hridaya adi kavaye muhyanti yat surayah tejo vari mridam yatha vinimayo yatrati sargo mrisha dhamna svena sada nirasta kuhakam satyam param dhimahi. Word to word translation. Om, O my Lord. Namaha, offering my obeisances. Bhagavate, unto the personality of Godhead. Vasudevaya, unto Vasudev, the son of Vasudev. O Lord Shri Krishna, the primeval Lord. Janmadi, creation, sustenance and destruction. Asya, of the manifested universes. Yataha, from whom. Anvayat, directly. Ittarata, indirectly. Cha, and. Artheshu, purposes. Abhignaha, fully cognizant. Swarat, fully independent. Tene, imparted. Brahma, the Vedic knowledge. Hirda, consciousness of the heart. Yaha, one who. Adi Kavaye, unto the original created being. Muhyanti, are illusioned. Yat, about whom. Surayaha, great sages and demigods. Tejaha, fire. Vari, water. Mridam, earth. Yatha, as much as. Vinimayaha, action and reaction. Yatra, whereupon. Trisarga, Three modes of creation, creative faculties. Amrisha, almost factual. Dhamna, along with all transcendental paraphernalia. Svena, self-sufficiently. Sada, always. Nirasta, negation by absence. Kuhakam, illusion. Satyam, truth. Param, absolute. Dhimahi, I do meditate upon. Translation: O my Lord Sri Krishna, son of Vasudeva, O all-pervading personality of Godhead, I offer my respectful obeisances unto you. I meditate upon Lord Sri Krishna because he is the absolute truth and the primeval cause of all causes of the creation, sustenance, and destruction of the manifested universes. He is directly and indirectly conscious of all manifestations, and he is independent because there is no other cause beyond him. It is he only who first imparted the Vedic knowledge unto the heart of Brahmaji, the original living being. By him even the great sages and demigods are placed into illusion, as one is bewildered by the illusory representation of water seen in fire or land seen on water. Only because of him do the material universes temporarily manifested by the reaction of the three modes of nature appear factual, although they are unreal. I therefore meditate upon him, Lord Sri Krishna, who is eternally existent in the transcendental abode, which is forever free from the illusory representations of the material world. I meditate upon him, for he is the absolute truth. This purport is very long. We're going to do 1 or 2 paragraphs per day. Today I'll read the first paragraph. Purport. Obeisances unto the personality of Godhead Vasudeva directly indicate Lord Sri Krishna, who is the divine son of Vasudeva and Devaki. This fact will be more explicitly explained in the text of this work. Sri Vyasadeva asserts herein that Sri Krishna is the original personality of Godhead and all others are his direct or indirect plenary portions or portions of the portion. Srila Jiva Goswami has even more explicitly explained the subject matter in his Krishna Sandarbha. And Brahma, the original living being, has explained the subject of Sri Krishna substantially in his treatise named Brahma Samhita. In the Samaved Upanishad, it is also stated that Lord Sri Krishna is the divine son of Devaki. Therefore, in this prayer, the first proposition holds that Lord Sri Krishna is the primeval Lord, and if any transcendental nomenclature is to be understood as belonging to the absolute personality of Godhead, it must be the name indicated by the word Krishna, which means the all-attractive. In Bhagavad Gita, in many places, the Lord asserts himself to be the original personality of Godhead. This is confirmed by Arjuna and also by great sages like Narad, Vyas, and many others. In the Padma Purana, it is also stated that out of the innumerable names of the Lord, the name of Krishna is the principal one. Vasudeva indicates the plenary portion of the personality of Godhead, and all different forms of the Lord, being identical with Vasudeva, are indicated in this text. The name Vasudeva particularly indicates the divine son of Vasudeva and Devaki. Sri Krishna is always meditated upon by the Paramahamsas, who are the perfect ones among those in the renounced order of life. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishthaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhaktavinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Srimad-Bhagavatam is explained within the Bhagavatam as Puranam Amalam. Srimad-Bhagavatam Puranam Amalam Yad Vaishnavanam Priyam. It is a spotless Purana. Mala means contamination, dirt. In this context, Mala means material. There is nothing materially progressive in Srimad-Bhagavatam. It will not promote our material life. Many of the texts of Srimad-Bhagavatam and most of the Vedas, they give spiritual benefit but also some material benefit, because most of the jivas came to this material world to get matter, material sense enjoyment. So Bhagavatam, just from beginning it says this will only be spiritual. Yad Vaishnavanam Priyam. Bhagavatam is dear to the Vaishnavas. What is dear to Vaishnavas? Krishna. And anything that takes them to Krishna. So Bhagavatam is dear to them because through Bhagavatam they can attain Krishna. They can attain spiritual perfection. Srila Prabhupada wanted that Srimad Bhagavatam be discussed daily. Here, especially hearing of Bhagavatam. Yesterday I heard one verse, I was just reading 3rd Canto Bhagavatam, Lord Kapila's teachings, chapter, I think 25. So there, it's mentioned, Devahuti was asking, how can the jiva, who is tied to this material world and material body, become liberated from it? Many other questions. An answer, Lord Kapila gave, Krishna incarnation. And one thing he said is that one should hear me for a long time. The first time I read, we should hear Bhagavatam, we should hear. But he said Chiram in Sanskrit, particularly, we should hear about God for a long time. Long stretches of hearing purifies our thoughts, our consciousness, our heart. So Prabhupada has given many quotes why we should hear Bhagavatam every day. In one quote here, which is in the purport of Bhagavatam itself, Srimad Bhagavatam is meant to be heard from the beginning. Those who are fit to assimilate this work are mentioned in this shloka. One becomes qualified to hear Srimad Bhagavatam after many pious deeds. The intelligent person with thoughtful discretion can be assured by the great sage Vyasadeva that he can realize the Supreme Personality directly by hearing Srimad Bhagavatam. Directly by hearing Bhagavatam, you can realize God here. Without undergoing the different stages of realization set forth in the Vedas, one can be lifted immediately to the position of Paramahamsa simply by agreeing to receive the message. By hearing Bhagavatam daily, we can realize God. And we can bypass all other Vedic processes. But we should be attentive in hearing, faithful, and regular. Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya. There's another shloka. Nashta prayeshu abhadreshu nityam bhagavata sevaya. By constantly hearing Bhagavatam, nashta prayeshu abhadreshu, we can constantly, if we hear constantly, then the heart will be cleaned. All that is dirty materialism is destroyed. Okay, another quote here. You introduce the system in all centers of your zone, wrote Prabhupada to a GBC secretary, and you will see that everyone becomes very much enlivened by these daily classes on Bhagavatam. Prabhupada instructed it should be there. Okay, so that is many whole 11 pages of quotes on why Bhagavatam and Gita should be heard and read daily. Benefits. So it is dear to the Vaishnavas. Yad Vaishnavanam Priyam. This particular text 1 of Bhagavatam, was spoken on by Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur in Dhaka in Bangladesh for 1 month. 1 month he spoke just on one verse, and he probably would have done more. And his lecture is not like 40 minutes, 1 hour. We find out from Bhaktisiddhanta Vaibhav, biographical work on him, that his class is minimum 2-3 hours, can go even 5 hours, 6. People would sit. Now he cannot sit that long. But long classes he'll sit. So 1 month like that he spoke on this verse. This verse we just read is summary of Bhagavatam. Text 1 is the summary of Srimad-Bhagavatam. And text 1 is summary of the absolute truth. Satyam param dhimahi, Vyasadeva is writing. I meditate on him. Satyam, on the absolute truth. Sri Krishna. We can just see from this verse, because it's written by Vyasadeva. He wrote all the Vedas, but he wrote Bhagavatam last. What was the last word? Vyasadeva himself meditates on Sri Krishna. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, as he says. And not only he meditates on him constantly, but he is saying clearly he is the absolute truth. Not that it's my opinion I'll meditate on. No, I meditate upon him because he is the absolute truth. That's the reason. Satyam param dhimahi, he is the absolute truth. And the definition of absolute truth is given here. Okay, so this verse has a very long purport. Prabhupada's usual system that the purport analyzes the text, each word at a time, and then each line, each concept. Purport goes on. So the first paragraph, Prabhupada says, obeisances unto the personality of Godhead, Vasudeva, directly indicate Lord Sri Krishna. There'll be people who are called Krishna also, others. So, who? Who is the divine son of Vasudeva and Devaki? That Krishna. This fact will be more explicitly explained in the text of this work. Srila Vyasadeva asserts herein that Sri Krishna is the original personality of Godhead. All others are his direct or indirect plenary portions. Vyasadeva, who wrote the Vedas, he wrote so many texts, Puranas. Different Puranas saying different people are supreme. Different system of worship in different Puranas. But here, he is saying very clearly, obeisance unto Krishna, the supreme personality of Godhead. And what is the feature of the absolute truth? Janmadhyasya yatha anvayad. Janmadhyasya yataha. First sentence. The opening text of Srimad-Bhagavatam is also the opening text of Vedanta Sutra. Vedanta Sutra is the highest part of the Vedas. Vedas consist of four angas, Rig Veda, Sama, Yajur, Atharva. So these Vedic texts are divided in each one into four. Brahmana, Samhita, Aranyaka and Upanishad. Meant for brahmacharis, grihasthas, vanaprasthas and sannyasis. So out of these, the Upanishads are the highest part of the Vedas. They are not easily understood. Upanishad, the translation, there are many different, but one is Upa means near. Upanishad means sit near, which means one should sit near the Guru and read this. We will not understand it. It's supposed to be after mature study and realization and hearing, then we get some level of knowledge, then we can read the Upanishads. So the Upanishads are the highest part of the Vedas. They discuss directly, they discuss only about the absolute truth, how to attain him. Some are very direct. Kathopanishad very clearly explains about the supreme absolute truth and how to attain him, nothing else. But other parts explain other things in the Vedas. Material knowledge, how to get enjoyment, how to remove the karma, destroy sin, but Upanishads are directly. Now, but Upanishads are, they say that Vedanta Sutta is the distilled essence of the Upanishad. You know, distillation, what it means. That you want to remove something, so you heat, and at a certain temperature something will condense, then you collect that gas, distillation. So the Vedanta Sutra is the distilled essence. Again, more essence of that highest part is Vedanta Sutra. Vedanta Sutra was only read by sannyasis. Even now, Sri Sampradaya is based on Vedanta Sutra, Vishnu Puran, and the sannyasis, Even the Mayavadis and other Sampradayas, they'll read Vedanta Sutra. The Absolute Truth is explained with reason and logic very clearly. So Vedanta Sutra opens with the line Janmadi Asya Yataha. Of course, the invocation Atato Brahma Jigyasa, that is the invocation. But the text one, the beginning, Janmadi Asya Yataha, which means Yata, we are referring to that personality, that entity, whatever, who is in charge of the creation, maintenance and destruction of this material world. Janmadi Asya Yataha, the opening line of Vedanta is the same as Bhagavatam, which tells us, actually, it's mentioned, Bhashyam Brahma Sutranam, that I said Vedanta Sutra is the highest part of the Veda. Bhagavatam is the commentary on Vedanta Sutra. Bhashyam Brahma Sutranam. Bhagavatam is the essence, is the commentary on Vedanta. To understand Vedanta, we simply have to read Bhagavatam. We'll understand this is the possession of Srimad-Bhagavatam. Topmost text, topmost essence of Veda. This is the Veda. Vedas were given to Brahma. What was first? What did Brahma hear first? He heard Bhagavatam. 4 verses, which are still there in chapter 2. Yeah, it's known as the Chatur Shloki, beginning with 32 onwards. I think chapter 9 of, second canto, chapter 9. Chatur Shloki, the seed verses from which the whole Bhagavatam came. And that was spoken to Lord Brahma. This is the Veda. This is the first thing that was spoken. A lot came after that. But this is knowledge. That is also knowledge. But essence of knowledge, what we need to know, real knowledge, is about the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He is the knowable. So now, why Srila Prabhupada emphasizes that we should carefully hear Bhagavatam daily? Because Bhagavatam is incarnation of God. Idam Bhagavatam Nama Purana Brahma Samitam. Brahma Samitam, which is the incarnation of Krishna. Krishna in different form. At the present moment, we cannot see Krishna. We don't have spiritual eyes. We don't have that qualification. So Krishna can take a form of a deity. We can see the deity and get benefit, and we can offer articles, offer our worship. But Krishna taken the form of Bhagavatam. Now we are sitting in here Bhagavatam, we are contacting Krishna. If we do this every day, constantly, we can get love of God. This is mentioned. 5 things out of 64 different ways of bhakti, 5 are very important, given by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Sadhu Sangha Nam Kirtan Bhagavad Shravan Mathuravas Srimurtera Shradaya Sevan Sakala Sadhana Shresht E Panchanga Krishna Prema Janmai E Panchera Alpasanga. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said that 5 things can awaken love of God. Of course, other things, but these are very powerful. First, sadhu sangha. Associating with people who are doing bhakti. Just associating with them, you will get bhakti. It's very powerful. Like Narad Muni, we hear his history. So, sadhu sangha, nama kirtan, chanting the holy name, or glorifying the holy name, or chanting the holy name. Sadhu Sangha Nam Kirtan, Bhagavad Shravan, hearing Srimad-Bhagavatam. Bhagavad Shravan, Mathuravas, staying in Mathura, staying in Vrindavan. Prabhupada explains, or it means staying in a holy place where Krishna is worshipped, like a base or a temple. Mathuravas, Srimurtera Shradaya Sevan, worshipping the Archa Vigraha with love and devotion. Now, if you analyze our ISKCON movement, especially our morning program, all 5 are there. All 5 are there. So powerful, this morning program. And Bhagavatam, it comes with Bhagavatam, ends here, or some will say it ends after breakfast, Prashad. Morning program comes till here. And so that is the benefit. Now, opening verse immediately, first of all, Vyasadeva glorifies Sri Krishna. No doubt, Supreme Personality of Godhead is Krishna. Now let us finish this argument. In different Vedas, different Puranas, different things are there. Okay, now let's end this argument here. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Oh my Lord Sri Krishna, Son of Vasudeva, I offer my respectful obeisances unto you. Bhagavate, unto you, Bhagavan, I offer my obeisances. Bhagavan is Sri Krishna. And Janmadi Asya Yataha. That discussion comes later about that verse. But just on this point, Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. In Srimad-Bhagavatam, it says in so many places. Here, opening line. We don't have to argue on that. Okay, and Prabhupada explains now here that Jiva Goswami has even more explicitly explained the subject matter in his Krishna Sandarbha. That Krishna is supreme. That is given very clearly in Krishna, Jiva Goswami or the sixth Goswami, one of the six Goswamis. In his Krishna Sandarbha, very clearly he's given that. And Brahma, the original living entity, has explained the subject of Sri Krishna substantially in his treatise named Brahma Samhita. Brahma Samhita, by the way, has been mentioned by Srila Prabhupada as summary of Srimad-Bhagavatam. Has anyone read it? Brahma Samhita. It's amazing text. You read it? Huh? Its commentary is written by Srila Prabhupada's guru, but it's published by BBT. Prabhupada wanted that. And it is the summary of the Srimad-Bhagavatam. You can find everything in short, in the verses, whatever's in Bhagavatam. So in Brahma Samhita also, what is here is mentioned, also in Krishna Sandarbha, about Krishna's as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. In the Samaveda Upanishad, it's also stated, Lord Krishna is the divine son of Devaki. That verse goes, Brahma Devaki Putraha. Krishna, the son of Vasudeva, is the Supreme Brahman, Parabrahman. Therefore, in this prayer, the first proposition holds that Lord Sri Krishna is the primeval Lord. And now, Prabhupada writes that if we are going to assign any word to the supreme origin, absolute truth of everything, the word should be Krishna. If we are going to assign a word to the Supreme Personality, who is origin of everything, Creator, we'll assign the word Krishna. So Krishna means we are speaking about Supreme Personality of Godhead. Krishna actually means here all attractive. Akarshan means attracting. Krishna, the one attracting everyone. In Bhagavad Gita, many places it's mentioned that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Very simply. With Bhagavad Gita we cannot argue. Other Puranas, other parts of Veda we can argue. But we can't argue with Bhagavad Gita. This is very clear. From chapter 7, chapter 10, 11, everywhere. Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. This is confirmed by Arjuna also, and by great sages like Narada, Vyasa, and others. In the Padma Purana also it's stated, out of the innumerable names of the Lord, the name of Krishna is the principal one. Padma Purana also glorifies Krishna's name. Nama Chintamani Krishna's Chaitanya Rasa Vigraha Punya Shuddha Nitya Mukta Abhinatva Nama Namino. That Krishna's name is spiritual. Nama Krishna's Chintamani. By contact of that name, we can become spiritualized. Just by contacting Krishna's name. Nama Chintamani Krishna's Chaitanya Rasa Vigraha. It is the form of mellow rasa, Chaitanya, and fully conscious the name is. So it can make us also purified. And if the name can do that, what about the personality himself? Vasudeva indicates the plenary portion of the personality of Godhead. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Vasudeva indicates the plenary portion of the personality of Godhead and all the different forms of the Lord being identical with Vasudeva. Krishna has many forms, many avatars, but Vasudeva is the beginning and indicates the divine son of Vasudeva and Devaki. A lot of sentences of Prabhupada in the purport, many, are paraphrasing of shlokas. So, and those who know the shlok will understand, and then we understand Prabhupada perfect. He's perfect. Of course, he can give his realization as a sadhu, as a self-realized personality. But many times he's giving narrations in the purport and sentences which are actually shlokas, paraphrasing. Sri Krishna is always meditated upon by the Paramahamsas, who are perfected ones among those in the renounced order of life. So, Vyasadeva is opening by glorifying Krishna. Srimad-Bhagavatam is meant for devotees. Generally, if we notice that we preach from Bhagavad Gita, we preach in general when we go out and distribute books, or we generally want to communicate, we preach from Bhagavad Gita. But Bhagavatam it's not for new people. In the morning we'll sit and we'll discuss Bhagavatam among devotees. It's meant for devotees. Yad Vaishnavanam Priyam. It is, you can say, expansion of the Gita. Goes much deeper into the aspects and confidential pastimes of Krishna. But Bhagavad Gita takes you to the point of surrendering to Krishna. The last instruction Krishna gives to Arjuna, just whatever I said, leave, forget everything, surrender to me. And just before that verse is also, you can say, conclusion. Manmana bhava madbhakta madhyaji mam namaskuru. Think of me, worship me, offer your obeisance to me, and become my devotee. Bhava madbhakta, become my devotee. This is Krishna's instruction in Bhagavad Gita. Final instruction, think of me, worship me, pay obeisance to me. So a devotee of Krishna, he will not think of anyone else. He will not pay obeisance to anyone else. We will pay, but not as a Supreme Personality of God. Of course, we pay obeisance to Guru, we pay obeisance to maybe demigods, but not as demigods, not as Supreme. Guru is representative of Krishna. So Manmana, Bhava Madbhakta, become my devotee. Madhyaji, worship me, Krishna says. So Bhagavad Gita takes you to the point of becoming a devotee. And through the proper logic and reason why we have to worship Krishna, why we have to give up material life. Many instructions. Krishna says very directly, Yehi sansprachaja bhoga dukkha yonaya evate. That happiness which is born of senses and sense objects, means material sense gratification, dukkha yonaya evate, is source of sadness and suffering. Directly Bhagavad Gita says, give up sense gratification, worship me, think of me, know me, try to understand me, bhaktya mam abhijana, through bhakti understand me, and understand my janma karma chame divyam, transcendental pastimes and my birth. Okay? So Gita says that. Understand my birth and my activities. Is that in Gita? Krishna's birth? Is it given in Gita? Some of you didn't read. You're wondering, is it? It's not there. What about karma, divyam, activities of Krishna? It's there. It's not there. But Krishna says we should do it. We should know it. Where will we go? Then where do we go? Srimad-Bhagavatam. Gita is connected to Bhagavatam. Where Gita is a preliminary study of Bhagavatam. Prabhupada, this is the graduate study of transcendence. Bhagavatam is the postgraduate study of transcendence. So Gita says clearly we should know Krishna, we should know his activities, we should know his birth. Where will you find it? In Bhagavatam. Hint is given. Don't stop here. We have to go on after Gita. Bhagavatam. And Prabhupada in the purports of Bhagavatam, Gita, he quotes Bhagavatam. It to take us to the higher level. So the conclusion of Gita, surrender to me, worship me, think of me, become my devotee. And then Srimad-Bhagavatam, opening line, I worship Sri Krishna, Supreme Personality of Godhead, creator, maintainer, sustenance of everything, the first giver of knowledge to Brahma. absolute truth, cause of all causes, very clearly. No doubt should be there. No doubt. Who is Krishna? Clearly, he is this, he is that, and nothing is left. Like in a law document, everything should be mentioned, and a qualified lawyer will see. There is no loophole someone can take out. Like a rental agreement, you cannot just write it. You have to give someone. They look at it. Okay. Full proof. This is full proof. Krishna is absolute truth. First giver of knowledge. Creator, maintainer. Not that Krishna is the God, but he's maintaining. No, Krishna is maintaining. He created. He destroyed. Maybe through someone else, but he does it. Great sages and demigods are placed into illusion by Krishna. He is independent. Swarat. Okay, Krishna is God, but sometimes he'll get covered by Maya. Mayavadis say that. No. Swarat, Krishna is independent. Independent comes from the word dependent. Dependent means I'm depending on something. No, Krishna doesn't depend on anything. Definition is very clear about Krishna. And why so clear? We have to understand like this. We have to know God very clearly, without doubt. If we know God without doubt, then only we can surrender. Otherwise, we may be a devotee, we may be initiated, we may be practicing, but we cannot fully surrender, because in the corner of our mind there's something else that, no, I'm leaving some corner, that I'm worshipping God, I'm surrendering, but I can also do this. Little I can enjoy like this or like that. But very clearly, Bhagavatam, there's no gap, there's no hole. You have to understand properly who is Krishna. Everything should become directed to Krishna. All our worship, attention, bhakti, there's no gap, not half Krishna, half him, and then quota there. And my political party, nothing. So, proper definition is given following from Gita. Gita speaks Bhagavatam also. Gita is also Bhagavatam. It's knowledge of Bhagavan in relation to Bhagavan. But Bhagavatam goes deeper, and we have to go deeper. We'll have to, because we have to become convinced and remove all the contamination in our mind and consciousness. Krishna, it says here, by him even great sages and demigods are placed into illusion, as one is bewildered by illusory representation of water seen in fire and land seen on water. Sometimes we'll see water on land. When does that happen? When it's actually not there.
The heart is in the sea, in the desert.
Yeah, mirage basically. So then you'll see water on land. And it says here, and land seen on water. Sometime in the ocean, that illusion, they're going, where is the land, where is the land, and they think they see it. So that illusion is there. That makes us think it's there, and then we go. And animals, humans may be able to figure out, but animals in the desert, so many corpses are there, that they see that water, they're running, they can't understand what is a mirage, then they end up dying. So, even by Krishna, great sages and demigods are placed into illusion, just like we may see water on land. It's not there. So Krishna puts them into illusion. They are for us so great, but Krishna can put them into illusion. Okay, only because of him do the material universes temporarily manifested by reactions of the three modes of nature appear factual, though they are unreal. So, very significant, opening verse of Bhagavatam is saying this material world is unreal. It appears factual, but it's not. So very clear, anybody who wants to enjoy will close it. Not for me. I want to enjoy. So it's very clear. It's very clear. By understanding, by reading Gita, Bhagavatam, we understand that this material world is not factual. Actually, the word is vastavik, means factual. Comes from the word vastu. Vastu means something, concrete thing. Vastu. Vastavik, factual. It's not factual in the sense that what we are thinking it is, it's not. But it is real. It's not that I'm in a dream. It's not. It is real because it's from Krishna. Krishna is very real. So and his energies are real. But it's not factual in the sense I'm thinking I'm this, I'm seeing, I'm thinking nature's working on its own, I'm thinking I'm this body. This is not true. So Bhagavatam clearly says in the beginning, the material world is not factual. We have to see beyond it. It appears real, although it is unreal. It's not real. Question is then, where will we go for the reality? I therefore meditate upon him, Lord Shri Krishna, who is eternally existent in the transcendental abode. Dhamna svena sada nirasta kuhakam satyam param dhimahi. Vyasadeva explained in the first verse, material world is not factual. Don't become enamored here. Don't become comfortable and make your plan here. Rather, I meditate upon him who is existent in his eternal abode that will not be destroyed. Dhamna svena sada nirastam, always present. And which is forever free from the illusion. Don't think there also there is illusion. There is no illusion. Here, material world. Kuhakam satyam param dhimahi. Dhamna, it says here, svena nirasta kuhakam. No illusion in his dham. Nirasta kuhakam satyam param dhimahi. I therefore meditate upon him, absolute truth. It ends with satyam param dhimahi. Vyasadeva, satyam param. Satya means absolute, eternal, fact, sat. It's true. It's not asat. It has a real existence. Sat. But then there are things in this world which are relative truth. But there is one absolute truth which will not change. That is satyam param. And so Vyasadeva is saying, I meditate upon him. Satyam param dhimahi. He could have said that in the beginning. I worship the absolute truth, but he explained why. This is Krishna, this is what he's doing, this is his position, this is what he did, this is what he's doing. Then I meditate upon him, this absolute truth. Now no doubt that is Krishna, he's supreme, and he's the one to be meditated upon. Prabhupada writes, Shri Krishna is always meditated upon by the Paramahamsas, who are the perfected ones among those in the order of the renounced order of life. Okay, the verse goes on because the purport is discussing each section at a time, and it's maybe some 1, 2, 6, 7 pages, so one purport at a time will do. Okay, Hare Krishna. Any questions? Any question? No. Srimad-Bhagavatam ki jai.